You need to be using multiple time frames to get a little bit clearer of a read on trend. It's very easy to get induced into moves on the 1 minute when overall it's not actually in line with the higher time frame trend. And that's going to be what today's video is about. Let's take a look here on NQ at the open of lower highs and lower lows once sellers take this New York VWAP. So we had some first 10 minutes or so of longs above New York, but then sellers strongly took that back. Now, hopefully you guys have seen Futures 2.0 on AceFX TV. If you haven't, that's the full strategy that I teach on AceFX TV. Right now, it's actually free. If you use code FIRST, you'll get your first month for free. You can also tune into the live streams with that. But let's go back to the trade here. I'll always preach not to chase the first break open range low, which is there. So maybe sellers are stepping in. We reverse that open. We're definitely below New York. Now outside open range low. Okay, cool. Now we get a retest of that open range low. I don't love selling at the lowest price of the day so far, ever, because now I'm expecting and needing a new low a day rather than trading back maybe to the low, which is why I like seeing pullbacks, trade it back down to the low. This pullback is very tight and the next candle is very strong, yes, but this is probably the only way you could get in short there once you see it turn. On the defense of that opening range low, there's our lower high back here at the stop loss. Let's go make a new low a day, which it does, but it can't sustain. So could you have made money on this move? Of course. Maybe someone scalped it real quick with a tight stop loss. Maybe they even got it at that open range low. That would have been a nice price. But hindsight is 20/20. The reason why I don't love that short, and we could even throw in a low a day view up over here and say, okay, well, we missed that short. Maybe now's our full retest to New York, right? We get a pin to New York view up there. Let's see if this can turn down, break low a day, and take that back lower. That could be in play. That could look like Futures 2.0, especially if you compare it to this markup. That looks like a new low, pullback, break of low a day view up. Let's continue lower. That kind of looks like where we're starting to get here. But the reason I'm not even looking for shorts is the multiple time frames. Let's take a look at the 15-minute while you're looking for shorts here, if anyone can guess. It's right off of the overnight view up here in black, which is where I want to be in and part of a move to find that next trending move, the next leg of that trend, right? So being that overnight was very, very sideways, but we had a strong move up here on news at 8:30. This maybe just looks like the retest created that next higher low from back here, right? And we go continue the trend, which is actually more so bullish. I hopefully don't need to zoom it out. If you zoom out, pretty damn bullish, I think. So I'm coming into the market with a more so long bias right off the bat until really told otherwise that we're going to sell off. So that's why before we even make a new low a day, I can't be looking for shorts, right? If we make a strong new low, I'll look for more shorts to come in, similar to like what we got on that day, right? We made a new low. All right, let's go catch some more shorts. But today, it's too early on to know. We're still around this VWAP. So again, if this strong flip of that bearish bar could have continued with another one, I'd be interested in shorts. We'd now be back below all VWAPs of this previous New York and the daily. But as of now, we're right at it. So that's why I'm not really loving the shorts, because that's not my bias. That's not what the trend is telling me it is so far with the information that I have. That I'm still leaning towards long. So if you look at it back here in the 1 minute, my first sign would actually be bottom of range to top of range, which is probably the better play than trying to chase it mid-range, although it would have worked today. I'm always trying to trade level to level, whether that be from the open range low back to the low a day. Right now, this one's not a good example. Or from bottom of range to top of range, or top of range short to the bottom of the range, and I'm out. So the fact that buyers are stepping in with a break of New York VWAP there, and that's right at 10.15. Well, what's starting at 10.15? This next bullish bar after seeing this strongly hold, new candle on the 15-minute, that's a nice pretty close. Because now you're saying buyers are back above all VWAPs. But where does stop loss go on this? I don't think I really wanted that low a day, although that would really cover all your bases. But maybe we put on a low a day VWAP, saying, well, if that gets taken out, sellers are going to be holding this New York and the low a day VWAP. This might come lower. Get me out of the short, or get me out of the longs as soon as possible, right? I don't need to really hold into this for a new low a day to find out that my longs are wrong. But maybe you do, right? Whether you did that or not, you would have won regardless of that risk reward. But that would be the first play there of bottom of range to top of range. Now let's look at this other markup I showed earlier on what I didn't do in the past. I didn't weigh that 15-minute heavy enough like I normally do, and I want it, the reason I use it. So we have a short here on the break back below New York VWAP, right? We saw that buyers couldn't really hold us above. We had a bearish open. Buyers couldn't hold above. Okay, cool. Sellers are back in underneath. Let me take that back lower now in the direction of trend. But again, the mistake is I'm not actually reading trend. On the left side here, the 15-minute, we're right at that overnight VWAP. and the previous day's New York VWAP in blue. I don't want to be short. The trend is actually more so bullish and respecting above VWAPs. So if I had that 15-minute picture in my head, one, I wouldn't have chased the shorts, right, against some VWAPs and against the trend. And I could have maybe gotten into the longs the way I have it marked up here, right? This isn't my trade. I was short and getting stopped out at the top of range. But this is what I could have and should have done if I wasn't looking for those shorts strictly on the 1 minute. Having that bigger picture view on the 15-minute could have definitely put me in the long. So this is the other way you would trade it too, right? You can see the exit on where I got stopped out, because if you're long from the bottom to the top. If it goes higher, cool, great. You can always find other entries. But the way we teach it is always trading level to level. You're not going to catch the whole move. You can see later on I caught the longs because I smartened up and realized we're above this overnight, so I longed it over here. Got out at the top somewhere there on the 1 minute, made back the loss. But regardless, listening to that 15-minute, not getting induced into the 1 minute too much, because it's just, what is this really? At 10:15, so 45 minutes into the day, it was bearish. But the next 6-7 hours was all bullish. It's a pretty bullish day. So we don't want to get too zoomed in on what the first even hour does, right? Because it could always flip and change. So we want to keep in mind that bigger picture trend of what's more likely to maybe want to step back in. In this case, buyers stepping back in because that's actually the trend. So hopefully you guys made money on one of these moves and make sense of not chasing moves against the trend. Now, could this be a little bit better because we are into that overnight VWAP? But there's so many times you'll see if we go over here and anchor a daily VWAP, once we get a nice bounce here, you could even argue it on this day, I just randomly picked it. We get a nice strong pop from that overnight. Let it move higher. Pulls back. A bounce off that overnight to find the next move of longs, not then reversing to shorts because you see a couple bearish bars, right? These are 15-minute candles, so you see 30 minutes of moving down. The trend's not shifting. It's not turning to bearish. It's just a pullback in an overall bullish move. You look for the longs to step back in, and they do. We can go back and back and back and find plenty of examples of this because the daily VWAP is one of my favorites to try to find. I'm sure here there's even examples. But you look at that. Is that the day I took the loss? No, that's not. This markup is July 10th. But over here on August 6th, look at these holds, right? Nice move higher overnight. Pull back pre-market at 6:15, where we're opening up the day at 9:30, right here. Think I'm looking for shorts if we get a couple minutes of bearish price action? Probably not, because structure is still overall bullish. We're still above the overnight VWAP. Until we really crack below it and move lower, I'm not looking for shorts, no matter what the 1 minute is telling me, right? I'm going to need more and more information on shorts actually holding through. So in this case, you look for the longs and you defend those longs above VWAP, and hopefully you can catch that nice move on this day, really clean, back into trend. So I think the 15 minutes is very powerful, and the 1 minute is also very powerful. I don't ignore it, but you need to have them both. Holy hell, what the hell is this? You need to have them both in agreement with each other to find really the most solid trades. Otherwise, you'll find trades like this where it looks like a clean short on the 1, but the 15 minutes kind of going against me. Could it win? Of course, but it's not going to be as beautiful as when the bullish 15-minute matches up with the bullish price action on the 1 minute. So if you guys found value in it, like I said, check out Futures 2.0 here on ASFX TV. First month for free with code FIRST. So hopefully I'll see you guys in there. Make sure you check out the top 1 sale as well. I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow morning.